Welcome back, everybody, to the Who Do You Like Here podcast. Myself with the kid as usual and a couple of guests for our first live stream from the Daily Double show. Mr. Elio and Mr. Turk. How's everybody doing?
Good here.
Good. How you doing, guys?
Right. It's the first video, so we're probably going to get some glitches. Probably going to have some feedback here, but we're going to get through this today. Elio, obviously, you've been on the show multiple times. Always good to have you back.
The Hall of Famer.
And Mark, Turk, first time to the podcast, so welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear my dog sounds like he's trying to kill somebody.
That's what I want to know. Listen, get a muzzle for that thing. Get a muzzle.
Someone must have just, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Let me try to figure it out. But that's what's going on upstairs.
Winners. I'm just trying to give you some winners, that's all.
Just as we come on, the dog goes crazy, of course.
As soon as we start to record, dog goes crazy. Going to do a little competition this week, so kind of excited about that. I'm really excited about having you guys on for the inaugural here. Really looking forward to doing some handicapped opening weekend at Keeneland. Elio, give me some feedback for today on Keeneland, what you took away from any of the races you saw.
Yeah, so I just watched a few of the races. Sort of same old story. You got to be close. I watched. I bet on a couple races. It didn't really have much success, but then I watched a couple more, and it seemed like the winners were sort of close up. I saw about 5 of the races, and I feel like they were probably all either 4 out of 5 or 5 of the 5. They were pretty close up. So we're sort of coming like with Saratoga. I feel like it was the same way. But I haven't watched a race in Saratoga, so I feel pretty good. I'm about 30 days off. I'm about 30 days clean. I think I watched the Pennsylvania Derby. I bet one race. I didn't win. So I'm one race for about 30 days, so I'm ready to roll for tomorrow.
I saw
coming in with clear eyes.
Right, yeah. That's probably going to be beneficial.
It is. I needed it. It was ugly.
That's probably going to help you out. I did see the last race, which was a turf race. That 7 that closed with Tyler. I don't know if you saw that race, but
I did not.
Cloudwalker, go back and watch that race 10. Just that horse probably gobbled up like 12 lengths in the last 150 yards.
Ooh, so he's flying.
16th of a mile. He was absolutely flying. Barely won, but off the speed on the turf. So that holds up to what the bias was.
What was the distance on that race?
That one was 5.5.
Okay.
So it's a turf sprint, and it was a close.
You know what I saw was, and again, I wasn't like totally focused on the racing today, but 2 or 3 times I watched, and it was like maybe the 6 furlong races or 6.5. I'm not positive which one, but they were like under 22 both times, and I'm like, oh my god, a closer's got to be coming for this. It got to be, and it wasn't. So I'm like, oh no, this is they can go as fast as they want again, and nobody's gonna close. But maybe it was just the race. I don't know. Again, I wasn't too deep into the race today.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's a little different than Saratoga, because I had probably one of the worst Saratoga meets I think I've ever had since handicapping. So as long as Keeneland is just a fraction better than Saratoga, I think I'm going to be all aboard here.
Oh God!
So I was horrible at Saratoga. I think I had maybe 2 or 3 doubles. Then the last 2 weekends, I won everything back and ended up winning. I got red hot just as it was ending.
That last weekend, you were like 6 out of 7 races.
Oh, it was ridiculous. Yeah. And I haven't, like Elio said, I muted myself because the dog. I didn't want to hear that anymore. But it's like Elio said, I really haven't done any horse racing since Saratoga. I think I bet 1 race at the Big A last week. So I'm ready to go again, recharged.
There you go.
I was tailing you, Turk, during Saratoga at the beginning, because you had such a crazy hot streak. I was like, he's going to ride this wave, and then you and I basically were seeing the same things, and I was like, we're obviously out of sync here, but
yeah, it wasn't working. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it worked at the end. So it was. I guess it's better to be hot at the end. You get everything back.
Listen,
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the one thing you'll say about. Well, there's two things I'll say about horse racing. One, you can go broke, and I go broke, and you lose everything. You basically lose everything. Your college tuitions, I'll sell my wife's jewelry, everything. And two, you can make it back in one day. If you get hot, you can make it all back in one day. So,
you sell it all, and then you can go and buy it back at the end of the meet.
Yeah.
Layaway, right?
Exactly. Let's hold on to this for a minute.
The race today was race 6 on the dirt, 7 furlongs. The other race you got to go check out from today. The horse's name is, let's say this right, Montesino. So Jose Ortiz.
Yeah.
Let me give you the fractions in this 7 furlongs, because you're really probably not going to believe me when I tell you. But the opening was 43, which I thought was pretty fast. I couldn't tell you what the quarter was though.
Yeah.
But it was, let me go back here. It was 43. I mean, he was absolutely flying in hand. And then
so what are these times wrong or something? Like, what is
43 at the half? 43 at the half, 108 at 3/4. I mean, it was just absolutely. I don't know.
Well, let me say this about Keeneland though, and again, this is a fun fact about Keeneland: the most rain per capita in the United States, more than Seattle. Okay, I know that because my brother-in-law lives there and he tells me, and it's true because it rains every day in Lexington. Okay, but the 10-day forecast is sun, and it's been like that for a while too. So maybe the track's just hard as a rock. I don't know.
Could be. Very well could be. Yeah, like running on concrete out there.
Because Keeneland with it always wet. When we have it on, it's always rain, drizzling. It starts to get a little cold, but I'm telling you, look at the 10-day. It's 70 plus 10 days in a row. So,
weather's key. If it's going to stay that way, I think it should just the bias should stay. I think it's speed on dirt, and I think it's closers on turf.
All right. Well, there it is. There's the handicapping angle, because that's what it's going to be 10 days
on 2 races.
Yeah. Right.
Small sample size. But we can get right into it. I mean, unless you guys got anything else to cover, we can just jump right into the handicap and go right into the 6th race.
Let's go.
All right.
Do it.
All right. So 6th race, we're going to jump right into a 5.5 furlong on the turf. It's the Grade 2 Woodford, purse of $350,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. Big purses at Keeneland this whole weekend.
Yeah.
Huge purses. If you're not going to Keeneland or Kentucky to race, you're losing out on money. Where do you want to start? Elio, we usually start with you. Let's start with Turk, and we'll do the round robin.
Okay.
All right. So race 6, my exacta here is I'm going to go 158. That 8, we got the Ortiz going here, Jose. Dog likes this pick. So looking at here, the turf, he's 7 out of 9 to the money here. Actually, he's 9 out of 9 on the turf, but we're looking here for exactas. It's been an exacta 7 out of a 9. I like that 8 there. I like to see horses that get in there and finish. The 1 as well. We've got in there one-timer, Larry Ravelli. Yeah. If we take a look here, 31% on turf sprints. Again, good finishes. It's also in this distance. And I'm going to throw in the 5 Wesley Ward horse. I'm a Wesley Ward guy, usually the first turn starters here, but 5 to 1 shot. I'm going to throw him in there, $190,000 horse. I want to try to get a little pay. Workouts aren't bad. Got a good workout there on turf here at Keeneland in the 21st, so I'm going to throw him in.
Yeah, Mark, I actually like that. So the 1, I thought that was going to be my super sneaky horse. Maybe that morning line's not going to be 15 to 1. But I think this horse fits really well here. I'm hoping that we get 15 to 1, 11 out of 15 in the exacta. And the last 2 races at Kentucky Downs is sort of a crapshoot. Everybody knows that, the horse seems to like it at Kentucky Downs, but you don't know really what you got there. But the horses last year was an unbelievable form. I think it was 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4 in the second. So I was 168. So I'm basically the same as you, Mark. I mean, I had to throw in the 6 Nobles because 10 out of 20 on winners. He's won 10 out of 20 times. That's just absolutely insane. And he's won 4 out of 6 the last 6 races. So I am 168.
Okay, good. You want to throw yours out there?
Yeah, I'm semi-aligned with that. The 6 was my top pick for everything you just said there, Elio. I mean, I've been kind of a sucker for this horse. I mean, it was on such a hot streak, and I think it goes back to last year. I think you were texting Larry. I mean, they were ecstatic when this horse won. In the spot that it was at grade 2. I think it was at Churchill. Maybe that was a race, or
That was Breeders' Cup Day.
Breeders' Cup Day. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breeders' Cup Day. Yeah, it was quite the day. I think that horse has got a lot underneath. I think third time out, I think they're going to improve. They're right there every time. Last time out was a little kind of a head scratcher, but it's Kentucky Downs, so I kind of scratched that race. I mean, it's running in somebody's backyard basically. So I've got the 6 on top, and then I guess we're boxing them. I've got the I've got.
You
the
don't
5.
have to worry about who's on top.
Right.
I've got the 5 as well. I think DeTore and Wesley Ward, they're teaming up here. Not a combination you see very often, but this horse is coming in with some pretty good works. Again, a horse that's just right there every single time. Just looking for that perfect trip, right? I mean, it's only losing by a length and a quarter, a length and a half. But right there, finishing strong. And then I also have the 4, looking like a horse that's just got seconditis. You get size aboard third time aboard, looking for an improved. I mean, again, just lost by a head, lost by a nose. Granted, yeah, you're taking quite the step up here, but I think Saez being as aggressive that he's going to be here and getting back in here in Kentucky, I think this horse at a decent price inside that exact is going to pay. So, yeah, I've got the 4, 5, and 6, I guess, boxed up.
Okay. We've got some common threads so far in the first 3 picks. So interesting. I'm going to go with the 10 horse. So I'm going with a little bias due to the fact that outside post positions are winning at a higher clip in these races. So I'm going to the 10. I'm going to take Arzak on the outside. Another one coming way off the pace. I just think that, looking at the overall scope of the race and how it's going to go, there's a lot of early speed. I think it should set up well for Arzak late. You got Jaime Torres now getting the mount. I think he's going to do a fantastic job for Michael Trombetta in this race. Been running a lot of non-graded stakes races, but can pick up the ground and move late. And I really like the late turn of foot. If you can get something like the Jaipur race, I think he's going to be well in it. Should be able to be bested. The last 2 races beaten favorite as well. So I think this is going to be a big race for Arzak and Jaime Torres. I like the 8. That's common thread for like a couple of us here. Super Quest for everything everybody said here. I like the fact that the horse runs really well off the Lasix too. And this will be another off Lasix race. And it fits at the 5.5 furlongs and taking a little bit of a step up. And then I'm going to go all the way back to the outside. I'm going to take the 12 for my third spot, XY Speed. And this is speed I think that actually has the genuine ability to get out there and probably hang on for a tag or a piece. I still like the closers in this race more than the speed. This is where I'm going to go, looking for a front runner that can has to move from the outside. Christian Torres has to go the outside with this horse. Definitely early, but I don't think he'll be able to hang on late. So that's kind of where I looked at the race setup, is 12 at the close with the win, and then the 8 and the 12. But we got it boxed, so a couple horses nobody else has, so maybe it'll pan out. We'll see.
I like it.
Yeah.
Strategic play on the first race. Take horses that nobody else has, just in case they hit,
I mean, we can mix it up.
Interesting how that works.
We can keep shooting who goes first. Matter of fact, we should probably do that and have Elio go first. For the,
I got to write down all everybody's picks then, I guess.
I'm going to add the ticket. We'll have our ticket posted, obviously, on Saturday with everyone's picks. But in case somebody wants to go, let me take a flyer because everybody else is the same, we'll keep it fair. I like the rotation round robin. So let's go ahead and move on to the seventh race. 6 furlongs. It's the grade 2 thoroughbred club for fillies and mares 3 years old and upwards. We're going to start with Elio and work our way back around.
All right. So let me see what I had here. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God, this is ugly. Chalk. So I actually really like I think he's the probably the favorite 3 horse. This horse is just a win machine. 5 for 7. Probably got a little leg weary in his 2-year-old season. He rattled off basically 4 in a row. The Breeders' Cup, probably you could tell after the Keeneland race, he was probably a little bit spent. Coming back now as a 3-year-old, they really gave this horse some time. He jumped up in Beyer his first time out at Saratoga, won a nice grade 3. And I think the sky's the limit for this horse. I think the horse is going to run monster this time. So I am 3 over 1/6. Not too, I like to put in prices, but I really like the 3. This is probably my best play of the day. 3.
I like it. Good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the 3 is definitely the horse to beat in here. For everything you said, I mean, that's just an impressive track record, and I think you're right. I mean, after Saratoga, right, they won the Spin Away,
Yeah.
and then the Alcibiade, and then obviously the Breeders' Cup. It's just kind of a lot too soon for this horse, So I think that's a big win. I think that's a statement win. Then coming back off the layoff in August at Saratoga, winning a Grade 3, and with some some extra effort there. First time out, I think is pretty impressive. So I'm with you on the 3. I think it's the logical choice here. I like the 1 as well. I think the 1 from just a speed perspective, I think this horse is going to be up there as well. You're getting Christian Torres teaming up with Steve Asmussen, who obviously they ride together all the time. You see a lot of mounts, especially at Oaklawn, and these guys do a lot of business. And I think it's always the same winning formula. They get out there, they get a clean trip. Again, this horse just lost last time out in the $500,000 stakes race. Again, you got to take in consideration the company he's running with, but has gotten the job done in some Grade 3s and Grade 1s. Been very competitive. So I think it's a decent price. I like the rail as well here. I think get out early, set the fractions, and go as a potential there. And I also had the 4 underneath, Spirit Wind with Mike Smith and Saffy Joseph. I thought this is an interesting mount. Again, this horse, I mean, the winning formula also is just to go to the front. So obviously I'm taking a speed bias here. Hopefully 2 of these speed horses hold on and pull away down the stretch. But if Mike gets them out, I mean, Mike has been aboard 3 times, gotten the job twice. And this horse is working out very well coming into the race, which you like to see. So first time over the surface at Keeneland, but a distance specialist. And like I said, you get out and you run a 99 speed figure this race, I think you're hard to beat. So yeah, I went 1-3-4 box in this one.
Man, it's going to sound like a broken record, but I got the 3. Just much the best. Brightwork's just been first time out here in 2024. Just really looked good in the Grade 3 at Saratoga, and no doubt that probably should be the top horse. I like the workout coming into on September 21st. 5 furlongs in 1 minute, 2/5. I'd be crazy to leave the 1 off. I think Christian Torres is an opportunity for Steve Asmussen to, if he can get back to what he ran, 3 back in the winning colors in those fractions at 21 and 44 and 56. The 1 may be on top with Brightwork, and those should be the 2 going down the stretch. I see middle and inside posts are predominantly best in these dirt sprints, and speed is your friend, and that's the 1 and the 3. And kid, if it comes in 1-3 or the 4, because I got the 4 third, we're getting paid twice because that was my 3rd pick as well. So I had Spirit Win too. I think you'd be crazy not to take a flyer with the 4 who's coming in off 2 fantastic workouts here, 3 furlongs and 35 and 3, and a 48 flat for 4 furlongs. Both of those at Saratoga, most recently on September 25th. So, I mean, speed rating, Grade 2, wins at Saratoga. So 1, 3, and 4, it's my military number. I'm going to stick with it. So we're going to get paid twice on this one, kid.
Let's hope.
All right. So even though on August 31st I had Brightwork, I'm leaving them out. So this is my chance to catch you guys here.
I think this is a player move.
Yes.
This is a last minute pivot.
I like it. Good job.
I have that 4. That's the 4 is the one that I've got here. You can maybe throw out that last race here. Look at it, 6 out of 7 at this distance. He ran that 7 furlong race last time, coming down the stretch, really faded. Back at a distance he likes. Like you just said, there really good training times there the last 2, and that's always something I really look at, see how the horse is running. So I've got the 4. I'm gonna have that 1 just like everybody else does, the speed on the inside rail, and then I also have the 6. So I've got both Steve as Musin horses here, hoping to cash in on one of them. Again, a solid at this distance, and look at the lifetime: 7 out of 15, 11 out of 15. Has won 3 out of his last 4 times out, and that 1 time out is a turf race, which this isn't it. So I am 1, 4, 6 in any order.
I like it.
So we all have the 1. It's really if it's the 3,
1?
the 6, or the 4 that it pairs up with. So
it was absolutely brilliant, Mark. That away. Leave out the 3. Let us all lose.
I probably left out the winner, but we'll take a shot.
I like it. I like the move. That's strategic.
Yeah, everybody will get the opportunity to pivot.
I can't wait to go last. I can't wait.
This is your opportunity right here. You get to go last this race.
All right.
So let's move on to the eighth race. Eighth race, a mile on the turf. The Grade 1 First Lady. Purse is $750,000 for fillies and mares 3 years old and upwards. Kid, you get the honors.
Yeah, I'm going to start it off with the 3, Safine, Eddie Keneally, and Saez teaming up. This is a connection that I absolutely love. You see him team up quite a bit in the Midwest, Churchill or Keeneland. That last time out, obviously, again, from a pace perspective, I'm looking for the speed. I'm looking for a horse to get out, and that was just a brilliant trip that Saez rode last time out. So again, I think it's important. He got a couple of mounts on this horse. He's gotten the job done a few times. Looks good training, very consistent training times. This horse just ran its highest speed figure, so I'm hoping that they take even a bigger step up coming into the race. So I'm leaning on Saez a little bit here in this card. I've got the 7 as well. I think that Johnny V and Brendan Walsh teaming up. I mean, obviously, there's both history on both ends. Coming over to the States for the first time at Kentucky Downs, running in somebody's backyard. They did get the job done. They closed a ton of ground, too, to do it. So if the speed doesn't hold, and that's not the angle here in this race, I wanted to have a little bit of a backup plan. And a horse that can close 7 lengths in the blink of an eye, come down the stretch and win. Again, granted, it's not a graded stakes race, but again, that's a lot of ground to cover. It doesn't matter what race you're in. So you're getting Johnny V aboard, and you're going to get a guy that's going to be aggressive and try to take the win there. And then I think, obviously, the 8 Chili Flag, Chad Brown. Tyler's got so many connections in Kentucky, it's hard to kind of go against him, and try to play the connection game there. But I know he teams up with Brendan Walsh quite a bit. That's his guy here, too, in Kentucky. He's taking the mount here for Chad Brown. This horse is just impressive. Last 4 starts, won 3 of the 4 times. Last time out, obviously, into the Diana. It's a Grade 1. It's a tough race to win. You're going against White Beam and Gina Romantica. I mean, it's a tough field no matter how you swing it. Just not the race that they wanted to see. Only lost by 4.5 lengths. But, I mean, a 106 speed figure looking me dead in the eye. If this horse runs anywhere near that, I think it might actually just blow away the field. So I think Tyler, strategic move on his part. He knows where his bread's buttered in this race. And he's got a ton of options, I'm thinking, here in Keeneland. And I like his choice here on the 8. So that's where I'm going.
So you got 3, 7, 8?
3 with the 7, 8.
Okay. With a race with so much speed, there's just a ton of speed between Walkathon and White Beam on the outside. There's should be your 2 front runners. It's hard to go against speed, but I'm really going to keep sticking with this outside post position and closers and see if the trend continues. So I'm actually going to take Chili Flag as my top pick in this race for everything you said. Just coming off the pace, that's the standard kind of process here for Tyler. Again, taking the mount, kind of strategic move here. Tyler gets to go where he wants at Keeneland. I mean, he's obviously won enough. He's the king of Kentucky when it comes to racing. So getting the opportunity and taking this one just kind of stamps a little bit for me on a horse that is well fitted for this race coming off the pace. So definitely taking the 8 on top. Surprisingly enough, I'm going to stick with White Beam on the outside. I think this is one that it can actually hold on if it starts to fail down the stretch. So I'll take 11 just to hold on to possibly some speed. The workouts have been sensational. I mean, coming off of July and a little bit of rest, the September 13th workout Saratoga on the turf, 47-3 was enough for me at that Saratoga turf, and then a minute and 4/5. So horse is really in good condition. Been really lights out 3 times on the money on 3 attempts. Just a couple seconds, and I think it's going to change here. It's going to stick with the second in this race. I think the speed's going to falter. And then last but not least, I'm going to go with this 9 Implicated with Luan Machado. The fact that this sets up again for a closer is, 2 back in the Nassau. This is at Woodbine. Brandon Walsh had this horse primed to go and definitely won. Now comes back off of Lasix. It was a Grade 3 race last time out, but that was Kentucky Downs. It was against Walkathon and Evie Jets. A lot of horses that are in this race, and really had nothing really to go for. Really just straight empty coming into the stretch. But I just think it sets back up a little better here. You're going to get some fractions that are going to set up better for the closer, and I think he'll be able to maybe possibly get a piece. So 8, 11, and 9 will be my 3 picks for the race.
Okay, so I have 2 out of those 3. 11 is my top one here, White Beam. And kind of what you just said, those 3 workouts on turf there in Saratoga, those are all great workouts. Posted another good one after that. In the money, 3 out of the last 4. Turf racer, Chad Brown, 7-2 is a pretty good number for this horse. I also have that 8 there with you for everything you said. So my third horse here is the 5, Walkathon. Really good. I mean, you look at a horse here, he's won 3 out of the last 3 races here. He's won all of them, and his training figures are staying good along with it right after here. 10-1 shot. So you throw this in here in our exacta, we could get a nice little pay here. And again, has had a lot of success on turf, a lot of success overall. That last buyer out there with 100, good speed figure. I'm going to take a shot with this guy. So I am 11-5-8.
That's a great call. I mean, the workouts have been sensational. 47-3 last time.
47, yeah. I see 47s, and I won on that.
And that last race set up great on the speed. And he was 23-46 and 109-4. Yeah. So I mean, definitely going to be winging out there.
10-1 too.
Yeah, it's a great price. I don't think you'll see 10-1 though.
Yeah, well,
south of 10-1.
South of 10-1. All right, guys. I have the winner here, so you guys can follow me.
He's got none of the 3 we just picked, none of the 4 we picked.
Exactly. Let me tell you about this 10 horse, okay? You guys are talking about this horse is getting the lead. Nobody's going to be near him. Now, whether he can hold on, that's a question. I don't know. But I'm banking on that he does. I am 10 early speed run, a 6.5 furlong race last race. He's a sprinter. 1 mile is going to suit him perfect. They're going to try to catch him. They're not going to be able to do it. You're going to get a good price. By the way, nobody's picked the 4 horse, by the way. Nobody used Gina Romantica, which is crazy. I didn't use it either.
Let's just bring it up.
Here's your chance. Why are you doing it?
I'm not put him in.
I'm not doing it because I trust you. I trust you guys handicapping. I'm not going to use that horse, but I'm with you guys on the other 2, the 8 and 11. But I really like this 10 horse. This 10 horse might have found a new gear since running in July and August. Absolute best buyers has ever run or she's ever run. Out of Del Mar and Kentucky Downs. Blew away the fields. 10 is an easy winner here.
Yeah, what happened on what happened in that?
Forget about that race.
Forget it. Because I'm
going
to be honest with you. Obviously, you handicap. You look at every horse, and I was strongly looking at the 10 AG Bullet and Rispoli and Baltus. They do a lot of business out in California, and the workouts are great. You see the handling workouts versus the breezing, but I mean the workouts are sensational. And I'm just saying in that race alone, 23-47 and 111, and Chili Flag just went past them like nobody's business. And then if you look 2 races later, 22-45 holds on with a 106 speed figure. So, I'm just trying to find out how you have a faster race, or I know it was a sprint 6.5, but I mean the horse looks like a totally different horse from three races ago.
Yeah, maybe the horse doesn't like the turf. Looks like it was good, and now it's firm. So maybe this horse just doesn't like
it's Kentucky
softer.
Downs.
That is true too. Yeah,
it could be just Kentucky Downs in the uphill. And
I was thinking maybe just it looked like maybe Chili Flags was much better that day, obviously. But I think that they gave her a little bit of a couple-month break. Ran 3. It looks like this horse runs 3 races at a whack. So maybe that third race is they needed a little break. This is the 3rd race here for me. Maybe I'll be cursing at myself. I'm such a sucker for speed. I am such a sucker. My horse. If I could get first after winning halfway through, I'd be the king of horses.
I'm glad you took it. Because at least someone's possibly have it. Because I had to toss it.
But you know what other horse I liked? I think the kid picked the 3 horse, 30-1. There's no way that horse should be 30-1.
Safin,
price for sure. Yeah,
that's not going to be 30 to. I'll play that horse if that horse goes at 30-1. I'm playing that horse.
Just a win place show, even just a little juice on it. To take a swing. But I'm a sucker for that connection too. I mean, I see it all the time, and Saya, as you can tell when he rides, he's just he likes riding for this connection. At least that's my take on it.
What's the odds on the 1? Obviously, I don't see the odds. So
the 1 is 20-1.
So how is the 120-1? I guess just class only, probably.
Yeah,
running in grade 1s.
Right, exactly. That's the only difference. Yeah.
It's the only difference, right? 'Cause I mean, yeah, I can't see 30 to 1 on that 3.
No, I'd rather the 3 than the 1, but I could
but I
see
sure hope
an
it hits.
angle for the 1 too. But
I hope it hits since the kids got it. Probably gonna
Yeah,
need
me
those
too.
back there.
I was gonna go with White Beam in here, but I mean nothing against Florent. I just want to see a little bit more out of Florent, and I haven't seen that, as of late. He has been kind of, I want to say slumping, but he just hasn't really been getting those statement wins. But
yeah, he's got
I
to
really
get his
did like,
confidence going.
yeah,
He's got to,
exactly.
he won today. He won.
Yep.
He had a winner. It was a good ride. The horse was a favorite, though.
It was
I
a
don't
Brad
know.
Cox horse, right? I think it was a
Yeah,
Brad
it was
Cox.
race 4 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he did.
Yeah.
I got a soft spot for him, but
Yep.
yeah, I know he's been slumping. I think what happened is Cox was going with Pratt in Saratoga,
Yep.
and it sort of was like all of a sudden he's like, "Fuck, I'm not getting the good, the best rides." But I mean,
Exactly.
he's also put himself in sort of that position anyway because
Yep.
he's been struggling. But I mean, I hope he does well here.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, like I said, I mean, and when he rides for Brad Cox, like that's the connection. That's his moneymaker
Yep.
for sure. So it's like now maybe he has to branch out and just find some different mounts. But I mean, this is a really good opportunity
Yeah.
to just like to see a couple more wins.
Yes.
But, yeah, I
Yep.
don't hate the horse in itself.
Where's Pratt going tomorrow? Back to New York?
That's what I'm saying.
Good question.
I was going to ask you guys, where is he?
I don't see him here anywhere. Yeah.
He's not on the card at all. He was there today.
He
Yeah,
must
I
be
saw
in,
him
he
today.
must be running a 2-year-old in California, right? There must be a big one out there that
Got to be a stakes race
Maybe-
he's going somewhere for.
Let me
Gotta
He's
be
got
like
to
that,
be
maybe
I'll check
Baffert's
Belmont
got
right now and
somebody.
see if he's there.
Yeah, Baffert's got somebody, or somebody's got a big horse probably out
Let's see.
there.
It has to be because he definitely would be on White Beam. You wouldn't get a change if he was actually at the track that day.
Yeah,
He's at Belmont.
No.
He's in the Belmont.
He is in New York. Yeah. Okay.
He's at.
He's in New York. He's at the Big A.
Yep.
There's a
So that's
5,000.
right. He
There's a
said he
5,000
was
claimer
at
race. Elio, there's a 5,000 claimer race he's running in.
No way.
Oh, okay.
I was
He's,
going to say, I don't even think he has that.
I don't know, he's on the first race. I don't know what he's doing after, but
He's got quite a bit of mounts at Aqueduct. The Champagne Stakes and then the Frisette Stakes are going. So both grade 1s. He's riding in both. I'm sure he's trying to pick up some.
So I read
extra
State of
cash
New York
there.
today.
Yeah, is he
Yeah,
there?
so
I think
he
he's
can
there.
come out.
He's there tomorrow too, I believe.
Is he?
He's
Okay.
not. I didn't see him at Keeneland.
Sticking in New York, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to let's get into this 9th race, I guess. 9th race, a mile on the 16th. It is the grade 1 Breeders' Futurity. Purse is $600,000. $600,000 for 2-year-olds. Big race.
Yeah.
I start this one off?
You sure do.
I do start this one off. All right. Gonna stick with these inside posts again, and I'm looking for speed. And I'm gonna stick with the 1. Luis Saez here for Gustavo Delgado. Just really think this horse really got a great opportunity. 2 races, 100,000 maiden race, won it by 7 lengths. First asking on a muddy track. Then goes back into hopeful, just misses as a beaten favorite in the grade 1 at Saratoga. Coming into this race as a 59-1 in 5 furlongs. 1 is, I think Elliot was going back to what his top pick was with that 3. I think the 1 is my top pick here in a 2-year-old race, which is hard to go by sometimes. But I love the 1. I also like the 3. Optical for Jimmy Graham and Keith DeSormo. So looking at the body of work for this horse, 92,000, 4 times to break its maiden. And normally I would kind of put a question mark on it, but 2 times on turf, the horse just really didn't take to the turf. I don't know why. Sometimes what trainers do sometimes, or the breeding suggests it, but didn't really take to it and didn't like anything at Ellis Park or Kentucky Downs. But when you go back to the dirt races and obviously winning at 92,000 last time out, 82 speed figure, yeah, career best, but I think it's actually going to improve off that race. And I think has the ability to go out there and run some fractions. 23.46 should keep it in contention there. And he won that race by 14 lengths in a field of 11 that day at Churchill Downs. So that's not really easy to do at Churchill to win by that much in a competitive race. I see it all the time, 5-6 horse fields. That's common, out in Santa Anita or, not 11 horses at Churchill and to go out there and wire and win by 14. So I really like the 3 as well. And then third and least favorite of the 3 is actually the 5 East Avenue, which is just an amazing horse on top of it. 6 furlongs with the win at 71,000 last time out on August 24th. Now the workouts really kind of get really weird to me because he had a nice, really bullet workout at not a bullet workout, excuse me, 1 minute and 3/5 on September 15th. I really like the workout September 21st. I'm going to go ahead and chalk this one as just an easy gallop out breeze work that happened on September 30th with the 49. They probably just don't want to take a lot out. He is a 2-year-old and probably not looking to take too much out coming into the race. But the 5 looks very, very fit for Brendan Walsh. I think this is one that Brendan actually may have one of his best opportunities with the 2-year-old field that he has in his barn. He's always got to go in just like a few of these other top trainers do at Keeneland, the Joe Sharps of the world. And, I just think this one probably is going to be out there. That's 3 top speeds. There's a couple of closers that I just had to go and remiss because I just think the speed's going to stay on. So those are my top 3. I'm going to box them out there for us, 1, 5, and 3.
All right, I think I'm up now. I think I bet
You are,
second
Turk.
this time.
The kid gets to pull the hat trick, the Houdini move.
All right, so I got that one. I think we're probably all gonna, early speed here, $1.3 million horse here. Came in second place in that Hopeful. I remember betting it. I don't remember who I had. I don't think I had him. But nice easy win that first time out. Getting better every time out. So I've got the 1. I also where did I land this? The 4, Handsome Pants.
Ooh, you like
10-1 here. One is made it, first time out, 122K. Again, good training races. Likes the distance here. And I also have East Avenue. This is a step up for him here. Won that race last time easily, but look at some of those training numbers there. I know what you're talking about here. I don't like to see, and this is just me, and I could be totally wrong, but when I look at those training races, I hate to see that big bump from like the second to the last time out. And I understand what you're saying. It could just be that just wasn't his day. But I'm still going to keep him in there. I had another horse that I've crossed off, and hopefully the 10 doesn't come back on me here, but I'm not including it. It's the 5. But I really like that horse, Tyler Gaffaloni here. So I'm going to take a shot at 1, 4, 5.
Listen, okay. Mark, we great minds think alike because we don't have to change anything. Okay, we're in the same field.
We have the same one.
I'll say 2 things. One, I actually like that you're talking about training times. I think that's a perfectly normal thing. I think that's a good thing for a horse. He runs 2-3 great workouts in a row, and then the workout right before the race, they're just breezing them. Yep. You don't even want to go.
4 great workouts in a row. Look at the 4. Yeah, exactly. 5. They're all good.
Exactly. So I think that's intentional a lot. Now, Sometimes a horse is so sharp he'll continue to run, doesn't matter. But so I have no issue with that. I actually like the 4, Handsome Pants. He'd be my key horse. I like when horses, especially young horses, when they run the distance, they've already done it before. So all these other horses haven't done it. At least I don't think most of them haven't done it. So that's sort of why I went with the 4. First time out, ran 1 mile and 16. Not the easiest thing. Ran a nice, good buyer. He's going to be a nice 10-1 price. If you can somehow beat Ferocious. I think Ferocious last time didn't break all that well in the Hopeful, if I remember correctly. Because that opening race at Saratoga, I was there. That horse was a monster that day. And there was some steam on it. Although he was 3-1, he actually became favorite late, I believe. So it wasn't like a heavy favorite because there's a bunch of good horses, I believe, in that race. So I'm the same as Mark, 4-1-5.
Man, I would love to pull the old bait and switch here on you guys, but I have the same horses. I can't. I can't. Everything you guys said was spot on. I'm high on the 1. I think again, the rail is where I want to put a horse that's going to go to the front. It's going to try to push some fractions. You're getting size. He's going to get aggressive. Training well going into. At 59-5 is pretty good coming into the race and training out very well. And just lost in the Hopeful. And that's a grade 1. That's a huge step. It's a big tip of the cap in comparison to the rest of the field. They have not all of these horses have had that type of work. And again, this horse is right there down the stretch. So I have the 1. I have the 4. I think the 4 for what you just said too, Elio. I mean, not a lot of horses have been tested at the 2 turns. I think that's big, especially with 2-year-olds. You never know how they're going to handle it. This horse, first time asking, goes a mile and a 16th, goes 2 turns, and was back 5.5 lengths at one point and was closing down and made the right move. It's Brian Hernandez teaming up with Kenny McPeak, the dynamic duo, you could say. I like the workouts. I think they're looking good. And then, East Ave, what can't you say there? The win by 8 lengths, first time asking. Only thing, again, is, can you handle the distance? Can you handle the turns? We're going to see on Saturday. But, it looks pretty good on paper. And, again, like I said, Tyler and Brendan, they do a ton of work. And, obviously, I'm sure Tyler had a couple chances here on maybe a couple different horses. And I like that he chose this horse. So, like I said, I wanted to go away because – try to get an edge here, but I really am high on the 1, 4, and 5 here.
Yeah. So, Elliot, I just want to go back to something you said. Looks like 1, 4, 5. Well, 1, 4, 5, you guys get the double on that one, the double whammy. Let's hope my 3 hits and you guys are not cashing. But I want to get back to something you said about the workout. So we're talking about East Avenue, that last workout coming in. It's not that big of a deal. I think especially with 2-year-olds, I think I would probably say it's less of a big deal. But I also like to go back to the workouts prior to the last race. And if you look at the August 17th workout coming into this debut, which he won, it was a 47-4, and it was a gate work, right? So they gate worked him, and they had a fantastic 47-4. So I'd like to see something close to that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that downgraded that 5 for me is like, if you show me a 48, I know it sounds dumb, but a 48 gives me a little more confidence. 49 says, well, did we take too much out in the 47 flat workout prior?
Yeah.
Was he off his feed, So the workouts only give you what the trainer wants you to see from him, I guess, in the workout. But I would expect to have seen it a little lower, but I don't know.
Let me tell you something. When I played football in high school, the day before the game is always a walkthrough. It's always just a freshening up, run some sprints.
That's why you were all state.
yeah, that's right. I handed out the water to all the players when I was in high school. That's what I did.
Shut up.
I'm not concerned with the 49-1. I think, again, like you said, those last 4 workouts are great. And then, freshen up, just keep the horse on the regiment, the training regiment. But I don't buy too much stock in that 49-1, even though that's not even that horrible time either.
Just to go opposite of that analogy, Elio, we played high school baseball together, and in batting practice, did I not try to hit a home run on every single pitch? I don't know. I think you got to show them what's there. I don't know.
This is a guy who's a right-handed hitter who never in, let's say, 3,000 at-bats since elementary school hit the ball to right field. He was a dead pull hitter, constantly. A very good hitter, but you could have thrown him a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, he would have pulled it, or a 20-mile-an-hour curveball, he would have pulled it, no matter what.
Did they always play the shift on him?
So in batting practice, the kids used to stand in the parking lot to catch the balls in the foul.
Pull the ball foul by 100 feet. It's like,
oh, that's awesome.
So I just had to throw that in there.
Everyone's got their opinion about the prior workout before.
Exactly, I guess so.
Yeah,
none of us are
right. Who's right here?
We'll find out on Saturday.
Exactly, we're gonna find out. That's the greatest.
Let's go ahead and wrap up this last race. 10th race. It's a mile on the turf. It is the Coolmore Turf Mile for 3-year-olds and upwards. Purse of $1.25 million. It's a huge purse.
God, it's huge.
Okay, so I'm first, right?
We're in the wrong business. Yes, Turk, you are first.
Okay, so the 9, Carl Spackler, is my guy. Okay, I came into this today saying there is no way I'm not betting this guy. I played against him in both of those races at Saratoga and I lost. I'm on him this time. So the 9, I'm going with the Spirit of St. Louis here. Chad Brown horse, 15-1. I'm a little surprised about that. It's 3 for 3 at this distance. $280,000 horse. Now here we can talk. Let's talk training numbers right here. Look at those 3. They're not very good. But at 15-1, I'm going to throw him in my exacta. And my other horse is, the 6. I said to find on the sheet. Talk of Nation, Todd Pletchard and Johnny Velasquez there. 8 out of 11 here on the turf. Came in that ran a good race in that Kelso there at Saratoga. Again, here we go. Good training numbers, and then we have that last one before not so good. So we're, I say I don't like that, but here I am taking another horse that's doing it. 8-1 though. So this is like, hey, if I'm trailing here in this competition, I've got some big numbers here. I can hit a bomb and take you guys.
I like it. I will tell you this: you talk about workouts again. That horse never really works out great, so you really can't go off the works for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
I wouldn't hold too much stock in that. All right, Elio, you're up.
All right, Mark, we're 2 out of 3 again. But my top horse, and I did some little bit of research on the horses, and I don't know how you say it. Is Kiko Cooley or something? Kiko Cooley. I read some sharp people who thought this horse was a big player. Obviously, they're bringing these horses over early. They're going to try to get him in the Breeders' Cup. I've heard some steam on this horse. Only a 3-year-old. So I think they really like this horse. The last 2 starts sort of, hasn't been his best foot forward, but grade 1, grade 2 races. Again, watched one of his races. Obviously, I thought he had some talent. But I just feel like this is the kind of horse that they bring over here and they just pillage everybody. So I am definitely taking the 2, and I'm going to probably take him in the Breeders' Cup if the horse runs in the Breeders' Cup. Then I have Spackler, of course, and Spirit of St. Louis. How can you not take Spirit of St. Louis? The horse is 11 for 11 in the exacta. I mean, I know that he hasn't run graded stakes. This is the question I have. Why, Chad Brown, why isn't he running in the grade stakes? So he probably thinks he might be a little bit under a graded stakes horse. But, I mean, when you either win or come in second in every race, I don't know. I just feel like he's running stakes races, but just not graded stakes. So maybe we're going to find, 11 for 11 in the exacta.
I mean, he's been a paycheck.
Yeah, so you don't want to
paycheck in non-graded stakes races. I think he, it could be. I can't see it being the owner. Obviously, Medicat Stables, they definitely want to the graded stakes races, but it's just a paycheck for them. Just
a good paycheck. Yeah, a machine.
A steady machine. Why put him into any other competition? I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have Chad Brown. I don't have to ask him. What the fuck you doing? All right, kid.
All right. Carl Spackler is my top pick as well. It's hard for me to bet against this horse. I mean, wildly impressive, right? I mean, last 2 races, again, I mean, the 4-star Dave, I'm a sucker for that race. I love that race. You're getting Tyler aboard. Tyler has ridden this horse to success pretty much ever since he got aboard, so he knows what he needs to do. He knows when he needs to pull the trigger. He knows what he has underneath him. This is as close as a sure thing in my book as you can get. Just how confident I'm sure he is with this horse underneath. So pretty much a no-brainer for me on that one. I did take a look here at the 3 as well. It's Jose Ortiz, Cherie DeVoe. Again, running in the 4-star Dave, I take a lot of stake in that race. I think it's a tough race as well. And, again, finishing second, obviously, to Carl Spackler, 3.5 lengths off. Obviously, they knew they were beat, but still held on there and kept the second place for him. Rode in the Breeders' Cup Mile, obviously did not get the job done. But, look how far back that horse was, too.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's a resilient horse, and it's definitely a horse that can close down the stretch and can move late. You're getting Jose, who obviously has stayed out in Kentucky. He's trying to build his tack out there. And this is, I think, at a decent price. I don't know what the odds are, but at a decent price here to possibly upset the field here, because I think all the money is going to be going on the horse that we already talked about. And again, after a little bit of time away, this horse came out and really ran a bang-up job in the 4-star Dave. Take a little bit more time. I like their chances in this race. And then I also have the 4 running B, Chad Brown, Florent Giroux. I know everything I said about Florent before. I'd like to see him win. I still think that he can hit the board here in this race. I'm looking at that 104 speed figure and still finishing second at Monmouth, right? Granted, you got to take in consideration the horse you're running with. But Vincent Cheminot, he rode this horse back-to-back brilliant times. And I think you're getting a step up in jockey with Florent. And last time out, coming off a win. Granted, it's not a graded stakes race, but obviously coming off a win, ride the momentum and possibly pick up the pieces here for a little bit of a price.
So you're 934?
934.
Man, that's brutal. I can't even pivot. I can't even pivot in this one.
They strategically picked the races where we all knew that we wanted that we couldn't pivot off. You know,
I mean, we could have saved a lot of time and just had one of us come on and just pick the races. They're all the same horses. Carl Spackler, definitely my top pick. Just sets up really well for an outside post position. Fantastic race in the 4-star Dave. Definitely going to put him. It probably would be on top if I was playing anything on straights. My second pick was More Than Looks, and Kid, you kind of gave everything that I was trying to get into on this 3-horse. I think first time off the shelf was just a fantastic race. Just ran a bang up race and honestly was really good odds coming into that race. I was shocked that long of a time off, to come back out. That I figured the odds would be higher, and ran a great race, and just like you expect. And I think you're going to see an improve off that second off the layoff. So 3 is definitely going to be on the ticket. And then I'm sitting here looking at the 2 horses that I had in my 4-way, which one of them is the other one you pick, Kid, and then the other one is one of the horses that the Daily Double show guys here just picked. I think your 4 makes a lot of sense, Justin, and due to the fact that nobody's got the 4, Kid, I'm going to let you keep that one, and I'm going to throw the 6 on the ticket, which was my original pick, Talk of the Nation. This one makes a lot of sense too, right? Speed figures are really, really consistent. 93, 94, 95. Last time an 89 in the grade 3 at Kentucky Downs, and beaten favorite. So I think you're going to see an improve on this one, getting back up into those 90 speed figures, which should bode well. Probably a 94, 95 speed figure. And I like the distance too. I think when you're looking at some of these races, you're looking at horses. This is one that's just consistent at that mile. Just you get everything. You get exactly what you expect out of them. Mm-hmm. I think when it comes down to horse racing, if you can get what you expect out of a horse to at least make it in the money, you can make some money then some way by positioning them in the second and third spot in your exactas and your exotics for your tries. So 6 should definitely be there in the money as well. But I got to tell you, that 4 was a hard one to lay off. He's 2 for 2 at Keeneland, and I really did like running B coming back to Keeneland. So, but we'll stick with the 6, and we'll see if we can hedge a ticket.
Love that.
Probably going to need
it.
Yeah. That's your 5 races, at least for us. I'm glad we didn't do the 11.
Yeah, me too.
We don't need to do a $100,000 maiden race to wrap it up.
You guys feel good? You guys feel good about your picks?
Yeah. How do you guys feel about your picks?
I'll tell you.
I see no confidence right now.
No, here's the thing this is the thing that's sick about it is I think all my picks are going to win. And I bet like it too. And then when I go 0 for 6, I'm like, what just happened?
It's funny because it's like we obviously have no control over what's going to happen out on the track, right? But when you're winning, you feel like you're just going to win again. Like, I'm going to win this bet. And when I was at Saratoga this year, I went 0 for everything. And I knew as I was placing the bet I was going to lose. It's funny how you almost can sense it. I don't know, but I feel good. I feel good about these picks.
I'll be texting you every race. How you feeling, Mark?
I feel good about these races.
Until after the race. On my double today, I had a 1 to 5 and a 6 to 1 on the second line. I hit the first I was like, oh, I'm the worst case. I'm hitting the 1 to 5 shot.
Right.
The worst case, it was paying $7. I had a $250 daily double. And the other one was paid $35. I'm like, all right, well, I have the $7 one. I just hope that the $30 one hits, but neither of them hit. So,
how many times this year with a double did we say we needed the 1 to 5, or the 1 to 3 to win so we could hit the 6 to 5, and that would be the one we'd lose?
Yeah, of course.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Just to see one go through the hoop too, you think it's just such a sure thing. I just need to see one fall down here.
Just one.
Just let me get one. Let me catch one ticket here, and it's the hardest one you ever get.
It's a cruel business because, I mean, again, I'm off on a tangent because the double. So there's probably 40 days of racing. I think I hit 7 doubles, but I didn't make any. I feel like in past, if I went 7 for 40, I would have been pretty close to even or made some money.
Yep.
I wasn't close. I wasn't even close. I was way down. It's like the doubles, even the doubles that I hit, didn't pay dick.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, they're paying
that's
like
a weird year.
$5, $6.
Yeah, exactly. Like my big ones would be like 10. Like, and I felt like I don't know. It was just like the wrong combinations were coming in. I don't know. Yeah.
It goes
One
that
to
way
five
sometimes.
shots. Those 1 to 5 shots are like when you sprinkle in a parlay and you know it's like a minus 450. You're like, just like boost up just a little bit for me, and that's the one that screws you every time. Every time.
Yeah. I know.
That's what costs you. You figure at 1 to
Yeah.
5, they got to hit the board.
Yeah.
It's almost
like
you
that.
think
Like
it's
that $1,100 try with the 9 to 5 favorite. Like it's got to hit the board.
You gotta
So
hit
put it
the
in the
board.
third. I put it in the third spot. Can't even hold on for third. It's terrible.
Only in horse racing. It is the most.
exactly.
It is brutal. It is
I
brutal.
mean, we've all gone through those cold spells, and my old man went through a cold spell, like brutal, like maybe a month. Just couldn't hit a race. So he finally just bet everybody in the race, every single horse to win, just to cash a ticket, break the streak, and then get back out.
I don't
and
think
it actually,
that's crazy. I don't think
in
that's
his
crazy.
mind, it worked. So
Yeah.
it actually worked for him. So I'm not going to hold you guys up anymore. I really appreciate you guys coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys.
On our inaugural
Thanks for having me.
video.
Good time.
Been an absolute blast. Hopefully we have you guys again and do some more of these competitions, or we just collectively put together. Actually, I think we have a nice pick 5, but unfortunately I don't think the pick 5 starts till race 7, but
No, it's 6. Isn't it 6? I think it's 6.
for the
Could
pick
be.
5.
All stakes race picks.
No,
it is.
Maybe
I didn't see where the pick 5 was since we were doing like competition wise, and
Yeah, I thought it was 6, but now I feel like it. Oh yeah, it's 6. No, it's the one.
I
It's
think
the
it's
race
moving.
we start at 6.
Perfect.
okay.
Perfect.
Well, there's not a lot of horses between the 4 of us on our picks. So it's still gonna be a cheap ticket. It's gonna be a cheap ticket.
True.
Oh, it's so funny.
Thank you guys very much. No better way to
really
start off
appreciate you guys
the
coming
video
on.
with you guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, see you
Talk
guys.
to you again soon. For everybody else for the podcast, we'll see you next week. See ya.
See ya.